Hi everyone, this is Craig and this is a short video on transferring your existing resources to a digital format. Now, if you're anything like I was as a teacher, you probably have a plethora of resources saved in your computer's documents, and it can be difficult for you to find your stuff and especially hard to get it to students. And this is all about a way for you to make these resources available for students and make life easier for you. So some guiding principles on this. One, recommend organizing your stuff first. So all these things that you have, a lot of these folders probably have outdated documents or even different versions of them. I definitely recommend creating new folders and putting the stuff that is most up to date and the stuff that you would want to have students in there. Secondly, we want to minimize the places where you have to change stuff so that you only have to edit once. We'll get more into that in a little bit. And then as you add stuff, try to add context for how it is to be used. So descriptive titles, instructions when applicable, so that when they open a document, they'll know what to do with it or what it relates to. So let me give you an example. I kind of touched on this last time. If I'm in my Weebly site or wherever I am, and I link to something using a file, so I would go in and choose this Word document. Yeah, that's cool, and it's up there, and I can click on it as a student and download it. But now what happens when you change it? You want to add something or edit it, you realize there's a typo, then you have to go back into that document. So go into your files, find the document, edit that document, then go back to your website, and then add the new version of that file. It won't update automatically on your website. Now, if you upload your files to something like Google Drive or another cloud-based storage, you can just provide a link to that, and then your edits will be there forever. So for example, let me show you how you can upload into Google Drive. Now, I recommend using Google Chrome because it makes this process easier, Google Chrome web browser. So if I want to load one of my documents, I can do it a few different ways. So from my Google account, you have your Google Drive available to you through any Google account. If you click on the Apps button, you can choose Drive. Looks like a triangle. So now that I'm here, I want to take this, let's see here. I'm going to go to my documents, and I want this PBL planning form. I can just drag that right onto it, and it will prompt me, do I want it to convert it? I do, if I want to be able to edit it in Google Docs. And when I click Start Upload, then that will load right into my drive. And now that that's there, I can open it. And here it is for me, and I can start editing right away. All from a link instead of a file. So all I would have to do to put on my website is to click the share button and then make sure the sharing permissions are open so that anybody can view it. So anyone with the link can view it. Click save. I'm going to copy that link, go back to my Weebly and say here's the homework, finish the task. I'll make that into a link, paste that, make sure it opens in a new window, and now they can click on that and get it, and when I want to edit, I can just edit it from my Google Drive and not have to change it on my website. It will save you worlds of time. A couple other hints and things to keep in mind. You can do the same thing for PowerPoints. So I think I have, here's a PowerPoint here. So if I take this and drop that on there, if I'm doing it into a shared folder, it'll ask me if I want it to have the same permissions. I'll say yes, I'm going to convert it. So it'll upload that, and it goes pretty quick unless you have a huge file that you're trying to upload. And when it is converted, you'll see it has a different icon. And sometimes with PowerPoints, if you have a lot of different formatting or different font that isn't supported, you may find that some things overlap. You might have to do some minor adjustments. So that's something to keep in mind and to check. If you have a really weird formatting or complicated formatting, it might not transfer like you want. So if that does happen, don't be too mad. Another nice hint is that you can take an entire folder, and if you're in Google Chrome, you can just take that and plop that right on there. And in this case it's PDF, so I'm going to choose to not convert them. And then it'll bring up that whole folder as its folder. So you can easily get your stuff online and then have a link to it. I could even take this whole folder, click the checkbox, and share that whole folder with anybody who wants to view it. So if you had a folder of different handouts, you could do it that way as well. So if you were using a different tool like Office 365 or even Dropbox, those are other ways to get things to people, but I think most schools in our area are using Google Apps, and is very functional and easy to integrate with what you're doing. So that is a good way to do it, and it will make your stuff more accessible. Now, I was talking about context. If I had this PBL planning form and I didn't want people to edit this, so right now it's being shared that anyone with the link can view it. They can't edit it. So if you want people to edit it, you're going to want to put those instructions up here. So I could say something like click File, add, make a copy to edit this. Typo. And that's a nice feature in Google Docs too. If you go to File, make a copy, then the student has a copy that's added directly to their drive, and then they can go on to edit it. So that's an example where you want to add that context and make sure they know what to do with it. Same thing with a slideshow. If you're giving them a PowerPoint, make sure that title slide is clearly labeled so that a student knows what they're supposed to get out of it. So the geography, the novel, not very descriptive. I might say this goes along with chapter blank, or view this in preparation for that, just for an added level of understanding. Just kind of good practice. So in the unit of the course, there's also a couple of links for transferring your assessment stuff. So if you use ExamView or some other assessment banks, you can import those directly to Schoology, Moodle, and these are links for how you can do that. Edmodo also has a very nice feature where you can create Common Core aligned assessments just by standard. So those are things you can explore as well. I'm not going to go through those processes, and hopefully you will be able to transfer your stuff and make your life easier and make your stuff more accessible for the people you serve. Thanks for listening.